you know, Paul Quinn seems to rubbish our 71%, and whether you think that's a good thing or not, really.
Well, I wouldn't wish to rubbish anybody's work that they've done. I would say that a decision on the redevelopment is premature, that you wouldn't make a decision about the result of a match at half-time, and that is where we are. Until the residents' offer has been produced and people can see it in order to make a choice and a decision, I'm not sure how anybody can decide whether it's something worth pursuing or not pursuing. So I would say at this stage it's too early to make that decision.
Shouldn't they take on what we've all had to say though, although they've got 71%? Should they not take on, and should you not support us with us saying we don't want it to go ahead? Should that not be the choice that's...
Well, from my perspective, I would want to know what the residents' offer was, and I would want to know that residents knew what it was before I made a decision. I'm saying that I think you're...
But we should have known that in January though, so yeah, we're a month out already.
Absolutely,
you know?
And it's delayed, and it shouldn't have been delayed, but that is where
and
we are.
all the other people was literally backing up what we was all saying.
Great, they are absolutely entitled to do that. But you asked me my view, and I hope that I have given it to you as honestly and clearly as I can.
Siobhain, you know that the residents of Ravensbury are unhappy with the way the consultation has gone.
Yes.
Do you know why that is? Why, Lisa? Are you aware why that is?
Well, yes, we've had a number of meetings that I've attended, and I am fully aware of it. Clearly, the residents' offer wasn't made when it should have been made, and it's still in the mix, but we haven't got to the end of the process, and I think that we need to do that.
This has been going on for 2 years, and if you imagine what this is doing to everybody's sanity, health, mental health, stress levels, everything, this is affecting everybody from young to old. It's affecting the whole estate. It just seems that nobody seems to care about how we feel.
Well, you're in a process now, and we have to come to the end of that process, and we're not there yet.
But we're not a process, we're humans.
We don't want it.
You know, we've got all our worries and everything that goes on.
But they've asked us, they canvassed us, they've asked questions, how do you feel, what do you want? Blah blah blah, and it's gone on for ages.
Yes.
There's still no answers.
Yes.
Most of us, 71% are against it.
Yeah.
We've spoken to yourself and Stephen Allen Brittis, and we've asked you to support us in that position. Do you feel that you're giving us enough support in that position?
Well, I'm more than happy to give you support. Am I happy to say that the whole thing should stop right now? No.
Why is that?
Because it hasn't reached its natural end.
What's that?
Because you haven't had a resident's offer. Now, you asked me here to give me my honest view, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, come on, it's not worth it.
How would you influence the consultation procedure? Because residents aren't really leading the consultation. There's been a lot of flannel from Circle Housing. They've attempted to talk about the units themselves, but they're not talking about density, they're not talking about building heights. The residents aren't leading the consultation, and Paul Quinn is basically a convoluted accountant who said he doesn't understand density and building heights. He doesn't understand it.
I think they are going to come back to plans with you where the buildings are lower, smaller.
So you're aware of a different situation. So you're speaking to Circle Housing, are you? So you know that from conversations with Circle Housing.
I spoke to Paul Quinn today, and one of the things he said to me was we're concerned about a block being 5 stories and that they're going to reduce that height.
5 and 4.
Yeah.
The whole run down here is 5 and 4 stories. So people in Ravensbury Court will be looking out on a whopping great 4-storey block of flats. And it changes the character of the community entirely. You've got people in houses at the end of Ravensbury Grove that instead of living next to a park, the whole design hasn't been led by residents. Residents haven't guided the design. It's, entirely incorrect. Dom.
Right. Siobhain,
yes.
With 71%,
yes.
Right, this should now be nipped in the bud. The residents don't want regeneration.
But I'm saying
right,
the
we're a small village like community, and we don't want it changed.
The residents don't know what the residents' offer is from Southport.
We don't want an offer, we just want to keep our home. We don't want
any change on the estate.
We don't want an offer.
I've been here since 1967.
Stop the protest.
This is the most lovely estate to live on. We don't need any more people on it. We've got plenty of people on it, plenty of cars on it. We're just happy with it as it is. And please, could you help us nip it in the bud? Nip this regeneration in the bud.
I can't do that, no.
Why is that? You can't represent
us. I can't see how you can't.
Because I want to see it come to its natural conclusion.
Why? Well, you'll see a lot of people.
Why? Are you not listening?
How would you describe the natural conclusion?
I'm not shouting.
The lady next to you is.
She isn't. She's just raising her voice a little bit.
How would you describe the natural conclusion?
I'm raising my voice, I'm shouting.
Oh no.
Because she won't help. Because she wants it to go forward.
What was you saying before? I was trying to listen.
I am more than happy to try and help you get any information you can. I'm more than happy to try and get you resources so you can argue the case if that's what you want. But if you're asking me, am I going to say they should stop it now? The answer is no.
Do you think they've done it fairly? Because the other people didn't think it was done fairly. Do you think it's our consultation has been done fairly?
I think there's. Well, you shouldn't be in a situation where you don't know what the residents' offer.
No, do you think it's been done fairly?
I don't know what you mean by fairly.
Well, they ask us what we want, we tell them, they come back with what we don't want. They do another consultation. This has been going on for 2 years for us, if not longer.
Yeah.
And each time they come back, the last meeting, it was true what that lady said, the last meeting, the last consultation they had us wanting to do gluing and sticking of where we want to put flower beds. Now really, you know, I know I'm not exactly old, but I'm not exactly young, that I want to sit there doing gluing and sticking at a meeting. You know, if that's what they've got their time spending doing, they can't even take the decency to listen to what we want.
Well, I think you've got to bring the... You know, you wouldn't decide something at half-time, and that is where
What is a resident's offer then? How would you describe the complete resident's offer? What will that be?
You know she's happy, she's got to go through it. Obvious.
It will be where they will say to leaseholders and freeholders what they would offer you for your property.
And when we say no to that, then what? When everybody says no to that,
then everybody will be consulted and there will be a process to go through.
But we've got to wait till
we ain't moving out of our houses. I am not moving out of my house.
So is tenants involved with that same process?
Yeah, there is an offer to be made to tenants as well.
Siobhain, the original document online, the cabinet remit, was to check, this was in July 2013, to check if there was an appetite for regeneration on the estate. Now we've all said we weren't polled correctly. We weren't asked. We were misrepresented. So the original remit, is there an appetite for regeneration? When we've done our own poll, we know there isn't an appetite for regeneration. So the process should have been halted at that point. And now we had a meeting with Councillor Alan Brittis, and yourself was there, and also Paul Holmes was there, where Councillor Alan Brittis introduced a local plan document, and he actually said this was our opportunity to say whether we wanted to nip it in the bud or not. We've got we keep audio minutes, and he said this would be it. This is the ultimate document. So we've completed it. 71% have come back and said we don't want it. So. And now it's still going ahead. So we're just all upset because the original remit, is there an appetite for regeneration? No. And the document we were told was the absolute, this would be the definitive document, this is the survey. We've come back and said, no, we don't want it. And now we're told this process is still pending. And so when do we get to say, when do we get a say as democracy to say that we don't want it to go ahead? When will our voice count?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
As I understand the process, when the residents' offer will be made, they will come up with a new plan taking on board some of the issues. I don't know if all the issues.
That'll be the final master plan, though, won't it?
Yeah, final master plan.
So we'll be unable to influence the
people will be consulted and asked, and at that point a decision will be made.
The majority of 71% have already stated that they do not want demolition. Don't you think you, as our local MP, should be fighting our corner now?
No.
Why?
Why?
You should.
Because we're in a process. People haven't called this
We don't want it. This is a special small estate and it's lovely. I've been here since 1967 and my friends almost as long. Right, this is a lovely special village-like estate. We like it as it is and you should be helping us. You should definitely be helping us.
Can process
and the way we've been
stopped?
treated by circle housing has been absolutely disgusting.
Awful.
I understand that's your view. What I am saying is I think we need to come to the end
That's
of
the
the
view of
process.
71% of the people on this estate. So it's not just our view, it's 71% of us.
Don't you think that, you know, obviously there's this great big delay now. I don't know why this great big delay is. We were told January, we were told, oh, we'll leave it for the 12 weeks over Christmas. This room was taken, we wasn't able to use this room. There's been quite sort of hide and seek going on playing. There's been some, I believe, some underhand tactics.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
it seems to have left us in a lurch. Now, if we have got no faith in the process till this point, why should we have any faith in the process to the point where you're saying, let's wait till we get there? Do you think we should have any faith in that?
Well, I can't make you have faith in the process.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
And
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
And I do accept that there have been unreasonable delays and that there has been at points confusion. But now we're in that process, I do think that people need to know what the residents' offer is before a decision can be made.
The people don't want to know.
The people have made the offer.
The people don't want to know. 71%, the majority, don't want to know.
Don't build somewhere else.
I am sorry, I don't agree with you.
What, you don't agree with the majority?
You're not living it. You're not.
You don't agree with the majority? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I think we should get through to the end
We
of
don't
the
want to go
consultation.
through. We want it stopped. We
So,
don't want it.
Siobhain, you're talking about the final residence offer. So you're saying when all the finances have been tied up and the financial offer has been presented to. However, that from Circle Housing's point of view will also formally end the consultation, and that's a consultation that's been ongoing for 2 years, where people haven't been able to influence the densities or the heights of what's been proposed.
Well,
They've taken a back seat.
You don't know that, do you, until they come up with a final master plan?
Well, we've seen it as it evolved.
Yeah. Okay.
And we've seen what they've planned. They've shown us the draft master plan. They've shown us some drafts as well following that. And we have not taken the lead in the first instance. So fair enough, you're talking about a financial offer, but up until now, all you're talking about really is the last furlong. We've been running the whole race, and everybody's lost faith. That's why there's 71% against it, and that's why people expect you to represent their disquiet about circle housing, about Paul Quinn, who tries to rubbish our 71% result.
He doesn't care.
We've got somebody running a regeneration project that seems to be against the actual residents themselves, who should be. He's a convoluted accountant, and he's got no idea about the design and the community that stands there. Existing community. That's why the community expects you to represent them in a more efficient manner.
Absolutely.
During the process, not just at the end.
I don't think it's about efficient. I think it's about you want me to say it should stop now.
Yes.
It should stop now.
But we voted you in, so that's why.
Can I ask?
And in May the 7th, you can vote for whoever you wish to vote
Can I ask?
and that's completely up to you. But I believe the whole process should come to an
And when do you believe the
now.
end of the process is? Is it at the end of the final architect's plan, or is it
After the
when they
election.
put in the planning permission? When do you see the end of the process?
When the residents' offer has been made,
Right.
and when the final plan comes, and when people have been properly consulted on that offer and on that plan.
So already 71% have said they don't want demolition. They're wasting more of our money on something that 71% the majority are going to say stop it then. So will you stop it then? At the end of that process? Even though it's going to be exactly the same?
Because she thinks
because all they're doing is wasting more and more and more of our taxpayers' money on something that isn't going to go ahead. Because the majority have spoken and said they don't want it. And you've said you agree with that.
I think the whole process should come to its proper end.
Okay, are you happy with the way the consultation has been progressed? Circle housing, the way they have undertaken the consultation, the regeneration.
I think she thinks we're stupid.
I think it's been. I don't think you're stupid. I'm merely telling you my view. What you do is my view, and how you feel about that.
Because you're not actually obliged to help us anyway, are you?
Well, I would help you in any way I can, but
you haven't.
But are you coming back to the question, ladies and gentlemen, are you happy with the way the consultation has been progressed to date?
Well, I think it's taken too long. I think there shouldn't have been a delay in the residents' offer. I think there's been problems and confusion about the advisors that they appointed and the advice and the backup they've given you. Yeah, I couldn't point to things I don't think are right.
Well, I think we would have preferred that you would stop circle housing behaving in the way that they have.
Absolutely.
Well, I have endeavoured to try and to get them to do it properly.
In what way?
Would you support us in...
I held a residents' meeting a few months ago where every resident was invited to, where we got all the local councillors and we got Circle along to answer questions.
Yeah, we got shouted down.
It wasn't a very good meeting.
Where was that?
We got shouted down by you and your colleagues.
At St George's Church.